How to master your mind in 30 days. Transform negative thoughts, build mental strength, rewire your brain, boost focus, control emotions, create discipline, unlock success habits, eliminate stress, and achieve true freedom with this 30-day mental mastery challenge for success, happiness, and life transformation. Introduction. Have you ever felt like your own mind is working against you, flooding you with doubts, distractions, and fears when all you want is peace and focus? The truth is, your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but without mastery, it can also be your biggest enemy. This book is your 30-day journey to take back control. Inside, you'll discover how to rewire your thoughts, silence negativity, sharpen focus, and unlock the mental discipline that high achievers use to create extraordinary success. Imagine what your life would look like if your thoughts fueled your growth instead of holding you back. Every chapter is designed to give you practical steps, not just theory, so you can see real change in weeks, not years. Your mind shapes your destiny. Ready to master it? Subscribe to this journey and let's begin. Chapter 1. The Mind Reset. Every great transformation begins with a reset. Just as we restart a computer when it becomes slow or overloaded, our minds too require a reset to clear out the clutter of outdated thoughts, toxic beliefs, and unhelpful mental patterns. Without this reset, no new mindset can truly take root. Think of it as preparing the soil before planting seeds. If the ground is full of weeds, even the best seeds won't grow. The first step in mastering your mind is to recognize the weight you've been carrying. Most of us move through life replaying the same inner script. I'm not good enough. I don't have time. I always fail. These limiting beliefs act like invisible chains, holding us back from success. A mind reset requires you to challenge these thoughts and ask, is this really true? Or is it just a story I've been repeating? One powerful exercise is mental decluttering. Take a notebook and write down every recurring negative thought or worry that comes to mind. Don't censor yourself. When the page is full, pause and notice the patterns. You'll realize how many of these thoughts are not facts, but assumptions, fears, or habits of thinking. By putting them on paper, you reduce their power and begin separating yourself from them. Next, introduce mental breathing space. Your brain needs stillness to reset. Simple practices like 5 minutes of mindful breathing, walking without your phone, or even practicing silence each day act like pressing the refresh button for your mind. These pauses break the cycle of overthinking and allow clarity to rise naturally. Another key part of resetting your mind is releasing the past. Many people live trapped in yesterday's mistakes or regrets, but your mind cannot master the present if it is chained to the past. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is one of the most liberating tools. When you forgive, you don't excuse the behavior, you simply free yourself from carrying its weight. By the end of this reset, you create mental space for new beliefs, fresh energy, and sharper focus. It's like clearing a messy desk before starting important work. You instantly feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. The reset is not just the beginning of this book, it's the foundation for everything that follows. Chapter 2. Power of Awareness. If mastering your mind is the destination, awareness is the very first step on the journey. You cannot change what you are unaware of. Most people live on mental autopilot, reacting to situations, emotions, and impulses without ever questioning them. They wake up, follow routines, scroll endlessly, worry habitually, and go to bed drained, never realizing that their thoughts have been running the show all along. True mental mastery begins when you shine a light on these hidden patterns through awareness. Awareness is the practice of noticing what is happening in your mind without judgment. It's not about forcing thoughts to stop.
It's about observing them clearly, like clouds passing across the sky. For example, instead of being consumed by anxiety about a meeting, awareness allows you to pause and say, "I notice my mind is creating fear about the outcome." That simple shift creates distance between you and the thought. Suddenly, you are the observer, not the prisoner of your mind. One powerful technique is the label and release method. When a thought arises, label it: worry, planning, self-criticism, or daydream. By naming it, you strip away its grip, then gently release it by focusing back on the present, perhaps your breath, surroundings, or current action. Over time, this simple practice breaks the cycle of unconscious thinking and replaces it with conscious choice. Another practical exercise is awareness journaling. Spend 10 minutes each evening writing down recurring thoughts, emotions, and triggers you noticed throughout the day. Did you get angry easily? Did you overthink small issues? By recording them, you begin to identify patterns. Patterns lead to insights, and insights lead to control. Awareness also applies to emotions. Instead of being swept away by anger or stress, awareness teaches you to pause and ask, "What am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body?" This short pause interrupts automatic reactions and gives you the freedom to respond intentionally. Over time, this builds emotional intelligence, a cornerstone of success and inner peace. Think of awareness as the flashlight of the mind. Without it, you stumble in the dark, bumping into the same problems again and again. With it, you illuminate your thoughts, see clearly, and make better choices. Once you master awareness, you unlock the power to reshape your mind and ultimately your life.
Chapter 3. Rewire your thinking. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Every action you take, every habit you form, and every result you achieve begins as a single thought. If your thinking is limited, fearful, or negative, your life will reflect those limits. The good news is that your brain is not fixed. It is highly adaptable. Through the power of neuroplasticity, you can literally rewire your brain to think in ways that lead to success, confidence, and fulfillment. The first step in rewiring your thinking is to recognize toxic thought loops. These are repetitive patterns such as "I'm not good enough," "things never work out for me," or "I always fail." Left unchecked, these loops program your brain to expect failure, which then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. To break free, you must interrupt the loop and replace it with a more empowering perspective. One powerful tool is cognitive reframing. Instead of seeing failure as proof of inadequacy, reframe it as feedback, a lesson that brings you closer to success. For example, "I failed this project" becomes "I discovered a strategy that doesn't work. Now I'm one step wiser." This shift doesn't deny reality, it transforms how you interpret it, which changes how your brain responds in the future. Another technique is thought substitution. Whenever a negative thought arises, immediately substitute "I am building discipline day by day." At first, this may feel forced, but with repetition, your brain will adopt the new belief as truth. Visualization also plays a key role in mental rewiring. The brain does not clearly distinguish between imagined experiences and real ones. When you vividly picture yourself succeeding, speaking confidently, achieving your goals, staying calm under stress, you strengthen the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it. Over time, these mental rehearsals program your brain to act in alignment with success. Finally, consistency is everything. Rewiring doesn't happen overnight. It's like training a muscle. Each time you challenge a limiting thought, reframe a setback, or visualize a better outcome, you are carving new mental pathways. With daily practice, the old negative wiring weakens and the new empowering circuits become your default. When you rewire your thinking,
You changed not only your mindset, but also your entire life trajectory. By mastering your thoughts, you position yourself to create opportunities, embrace challenges, and achieve the success that once seemed out of reach.
Chapter 4: Emotional Control Switch. Your emotions are powerful drivers of your behavior. They influence the choices you make, the words you speak, and even how others perceive you. Yet most people live as though emotions control them instead of the other way around. One moment they're calm, the next they're angry, anxious, or overwhelmed, reacting instead of responding. If you want to master your mind, you must learn how to flip the emotional control switch and take charge of your inner state. The first key is understanding that emotions are signals, not commands. Feeling angry, sad, or anxious doesn't mean you must act on those feelings. They are messages pointing to what matters to you. For example, anger may signal injustice, while fear may signal a need for preparation. When you recognize emotions as data rather than directives, you immediately gain control. One of the most powerful tools for emotional mastery is the pause technique. When triggered, pause for just 5 to 10 seconds before reacting. Take a deep breath, label the emotion, "I feel angry," "I feel nervous," and then choose your response. This short pause interrupts the automatic reaction cycle and activates the rational part of your brain, giving you space to respond wisely instead of impulsively. Another important practice is emotional regulation. Techniques such as mindful breathing, grounding exercises, and journaling help you process emotions instead of suppressing them. Suppressed emotions don't disappear, they build up and eventually explode. Controlled expression, on the other hand, releases tension and restores balance. Building emotional intelligence is also crucial. This means not only managing your own emotions, but also reading and responding to others' emotions effectively. People who master this skill excel in leadership, relationships, and decision-making because they stay composed under pressure and influence situations positively. A practical strategy is creating emotional anchors. Identify activities or practices that instantly calm and reset you. Listening to music, exercising, repeating affirmations, or even stepping outside for fresh air. When you feel your emotions spiraling, activate your anchor to shift your state. Ultimately, flipping the emotional control switch doesn't mean eliminating emotions. It means using them as fuel instead of allowing them to run wild. When you respond instead of react, you gain respect, clarity, and peace of mind. Emotional control is not suppression, it's the art of channeling your energy in the direction of growth and success. Chapter 5: Focus like a laser. In today's fast-paced world, focus is one of the rarest and most valuable skills you can develop. We live in an age of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and information overload. Most people can't concentrate on a single task for more than a few minutes without being pulled away by distractions. Yet, the ability to focus deeply, like a laser, is what separates high achievers from the average. When your mind is fully directed, you can accomplish in 1 hour what might take others an entire day. Focus begins with eliminating distractions. Your brain is not designed to multitask. It simply switches rapidly between tasks, draining energy and lowering efficiency. To master focus, create an environment that supports it. Silence unnecessary notifications, clear your workspace, and set specific times for checking messages. Treat focus as a sacred state that deserves protection. Next, train your mind through deep work sessions. Choose one meaningful task, set a timer for 25 to 50 minutes, and commit fully without interruption. This technique, often called the Pomodoro method, strengthens concentration like a muscle. Over time, your ability to focus will expand, allowing you to work longer and with greater intensity. Another essential element of laser focus is mental stamina. Just as athletes train their bodies, you must train your brain to sustain effort. Practice mindfulness meditation for a few minutes daily to build awareness and strengthen attention. Studies show that even short sessions improve the brain's ability to concentrate and resist distraction. Clarity also fuels focus. When you don't know exactly what you're working toward, your mind drifts. Begin each day by identifying your top 3 priorities and commit to finishing them before anything else. This simple practice prevents busyness from replacing productivity. Equally important is managing your energy. Focus doesn't just depend on willpower, it depends on rest, nutrition, and physical movement. Short breaks, stretching, or a quick walk recharge your brain and prevent mental fatigue. Think of your focus like a laser beam. The sharper and more energized it is, the deeper it cuts. Ultimately, mastering focus means taking control of where your attention goes. When you learn to direct it with precision, you unlock extraordinary productivity, creativity, and progress. In a distracted world, your ability to focus like a laser will become your greatest advantage.
Chapter 6: The Habit of Positive Self-Talk. The most powerful voice you will ever hear is not from your parents, teachers, or even mentors. It is the voice inside your own head. Every day, you engage in thousands of silent conversations with yourself. This constant stream of inner dialogue, known as self-talk, has the power to build you up or break you down. If your self-talk is filled with doubt, criticism, and fear, your confidence and actions will reflect that. But when your inner dialogue is positive, encouraging, and empowering, you develop unshakable belief in yourself and unlock your true potential. The first step in transforming self-talk is awareness. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself when things go wrong. Do you say, "I'm so stupid," or "I always mess up"? These small phrases might feel harmless, but repeated daily, they program your subconscious mind to believe them. Over time, you start living according to these negative scripts. Awareness allows you to catch these harmful words and consciously replace them with something better. The second step is reframing. Instead of "I can't do this," shift to "I am learning how to do this." Instead of "I always fail," reframe it as "Every setback is teaching me how to succeed." This doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means choosing a perspective that supports growth rather than defeat. Another powerful practice is using affirmations. Affirmations are intentional statements that rewire your subconscious. For example, "I am capable," "I am disciplined," or "I am creating success daily." To make affirmations work, repeat them consistently with emotion and conviction, especially during the first few minutes after waking and before sleep, when your subconscious is most open to suggestion. It's also important to use compassionate self-talk. Imagine how you would speak to a close friend who is struggling. You wouldn't call them a failure, you would encourage them. Begin treating yourself with the same kindness. Self-compassion strengthens resilience and makes it easier to bounce back from challenges. Finally, remember that self-talk is a habit. The more you practice positive inner dialogue, the more natural it becomes. Over time, your brain adopts this new language as its default, filling your thoughts with confidence instead of doubt. When you master the habit of positive self-talk, you become your own greatest supporter. You stop waiting for external validation and instead create an unstoppable mindset from within. And when your inner voice believes in you, Nothing in the outer world can hold you back.
Chapter 7. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is fleeting. One day you feel inspired and unstoppable. The next, you struggle to even start. Relying solely on motivation is like trying to power a car with a single push. Eventually, it runs out. True success, however, is fueled by discipline, the ability to take consistent action even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, and mastering it is essential for controlling your mind and creating lasting results. The first step is understanding the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is an emotional push. It comes and goes depending on mood, energy, or external circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is a skill and a habit. It's the inner commitment to follow through, day after day, regardless of how you feel. When you build discipline, you no longer rely on fleeting emotions to succeed. You create predictable, unstoppable progress. One of the most effective ways to strengthen discipline is through routine and structure. Set clear daily rituals for your most important activities, whether it's work, exercise, learning, or self-improvement. When actions become habits, they require less mental energy and become automatic. Start small. Just a 10-minute daily habit can grow into a powerful routine if practiced consistently. Another key strategy is delayed gratification. Discipline means prioritizing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. Every time you resist distractions or push past procrastination, you train your brain to value progress and achievement. Over time, this strengthens willpower and self-control, creating a momentum that carries you forward effortlessly. Accountability is also crucial. Whether through a journal, a coach, or a supportive friend, tracking your actions ensures that discipline becomes measurable and tangible. When you see consistent results, your commitment deepens, reinforcing the habit further. Finally, remember that discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. There will be days when you stumble, but the key is to keep going no matter what. Each small act of self-control compounds over time, shaping your character, boosting confidence, and preparing your mind to tackle bigger challenges. In the end, discipline transforms your life because it makes you reliable, consistent, and capable of achieving goals that motivation alone could never sustain. By mastering discipline, you unlock the ability to take control of your mind, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny.
Chapter 8. Stress into Strength. Stress is inevitable. Every person experiences it, at work, in relationships, or even in the pursuit of goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is how they respond to stress. Most people view stress as a threat, a signal to retreat, or something to avoid. But what if stress could be transformed into your greatest ally? When mastered, stress becomes a fuel for growth, resilience, and high performance. The first step is changing your perception of stress. Instead of seeing it as harmful, recognize it as a signal that your mind and body are being challenged. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your mental, emotional, and physical resilience. The moment you see stress as a teacher rather than an enemy, your brain begins to react differently. Your heart rate stabilizes, your thinking sharpens, and your energy shifts from fear to focus. Next, develop resilience through exposure. Just as muscles grow stronger under controlled strain, your mind becomes stronger when you face challenges intentionally. Start by embracing small, manageable stressors, tight deadlines, uncomfortable conversations, or new experiences. Each time you navigate these successfully, your mental endurance grows, preparing you for larger challenges. Another key technique is stress reframing. Ask yourself, how can this challenge benefit me? What can I learn from it?
By focusing on solutions rather than problems, you shift from a reactive state to a proactive state, turning stress into actionable energy. Journaling about stressful situations and identifying lessons learned strengthens this mindset over time. Physical and mental practices also play a critical role. Deep breathing, meditation, and short periods of exercise help regulate the body's stress response, preventing overwhelm. When your body is calm, your mind can think clearly, making stress a source of empowerment rather than paralysis. Finally, adopt the principle of anticipation and preparation. People who master stress don't eliminate it, they prepare for it. Visualize potential challenges, create contingency plans, and train your mind to respond rather than react. Over time, this transforms stress from a disruptive force into a powerful engine for growth, creativity, and peak performance. When you learn to turn stress into strength, adversity no longer holds you back. Instead, it fuels your progress, sharpens your mind, and builds resilience that carries you further than you ever imagined. Stress becomes not a hurdle, but a stepping stone to personal mastery and lasting success.
Chapter 9. Visualization and Mental Blueprint. The mind is a powerful creative engine. What it can imagine, it can manifest. Yet most people never harness this power consciously. Visualization is the art of seeing your desired outcomes clearly in your mind before they appear in reality. It's not daydreaming, it's deliberate mental rehearsal that programs your subconscious to align thoughts, emotions, and actions with success. When you learn to create a mental blueprint, you give your goals a roadmap and give your brain a clear signal of what to pursue. The first step is to clarify your vision. Ambiguous or vague goals produce weak results because your brain cannot focus on what is unclear. Instead of thinking, "I want to be successful," define it precisely. "I want to increase my income by 20% in 6 months," or "I want to complete this project with excellence by next month." The more vivid your mental picture, the stronger the signal you send to your subconscious mind. Once your vision is clear, engage in daily visualization sessions. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and imagine yourself achieving your goal in rich detail. Include all senses, see the colors, hear the sounds, feel the emotions of success. When you do this consistently, your brain begins treating the imagined scenario as real, priming your mind to notice opportunities, make better decisions, and act in alignment with your desired outcome. Another powerful tool is future scripting. Write a detailed account of your ideal life as if it has already happened. Describe your accomplishments, daily routines, relationships, and mindset. Read it aloud daily. By scripting the future in precise terms, you create a cognitive map that guides your behavior, turning abstract goals into tangible actions. Visualization also strengthens confidence and reduces anxiety. When you mentally rehearse difficult conversations, presentations, or challenges, your brain experiences the scenario before it happens, reducing fear and enhancing performance. Athletes, performers, and top achievers all use this technique to train the mind and body simultaneously. Finally, combine visualization with action. Seeing your goal is powerful, but it must be paired with consistent, deliberate steps. Each action becomes aligned with your mental blueprint, accelerating progress and turning dreams into reality.
Chapter 10. The 30-Day Mental Mastery Plan. Mastering your mind is not an abstract concept. It is a practice, a daily commitment that transforms your thoughts, habits, and results. This chapter brings everything you've learned in the previous chapters together into a concrete 30-day plan designed to take you from distraction, doubt, and overwhelm to clarity, control, and confidence. Think of this plan as a mental workout program, Just as you would train your body consistently to achieve physical strength, your mind requires structured daily exercises to reach peak performance. The 30-day plan combines awareness, rewiring, emotional control, focus, positive self-talk, discipline, stress mastery, and visualization into an integrated framework. Each day is an opportunity to build momentum. For example, the first few days focus on creating mental clarity through observation and resetting old thought patterns. You will journal recurring thoughts, identify limiting beliefs, and practice mindfulness to strengthen awareness. By the end of the first week, you will notice how your mental clutter diminishes and your mind feels lighter. As the plan progresses, you move into rewiring your thinking and emotional mastery. This involves challenging negative self-talk, practicing reframing techniques, and learning to pause before reacting. You will also begin visualization exercises, imagining success vividly to prime your subconscious mind for action. These practices strengthen your mental muscles, increase resilience, and cultivate calmness under pressure. The middle phase emphasizes discipline, focus, and productivity habits. Daily routines, goal prioritization, and deep work sessions teach you to manage distractions and build momentum. Stress management techniques and mental rehearsal become part of your lifestyle, turning challenges into opportunities rather than obstacles. In the final phase, the plan integrates all practices into a holistic mental mastery routine. By this point, self-talk, visualization, emotional control, focus, and discipline operate together seamlessly. Each day, you reinforce positive habits, track your progress, and adjust strategies for maximum results. The goal is to make mental mastery a permanent part of your life, not just a 30-day experiment. By committing to this structured plan, you unlock the full potential of your mind. Thoughts become tools, emotions become allies, and focus becomes second nature. Within 30 days, you don't just understand the principles of mental mastery, you live them, creating a foundation for success, confidence, and personal growth that lasts a lifetime.